I'm very happy to have the opportunity to share with you how our university organizes the aspects of research. My name is Dolores Sanchez. I'm the Vice President for International Affairs. So I'm involved in anything that has to go out of Germany. So this means from exchange of students, exchange of teaching, international research projects, universities cooperation, international company cooperation. So everything goes under my responsibility. And this is what I also would like to bring today, some thoughts for you, because for all of us, we are talking all the time about digitalization, which is one of our major changes. We are talking about changes in digital, but we don't have to forget the other aspect. We are talking about internationalization of the whole world. How are we preparing our students for the international arena? This I would like to share with you some insights. And obviously is the change of our mindset. So these are the three topics that I will present to you here. So how do we do research in our organization? Also the aspects, how do we motivate our students to do research? Because sometimes, maybe we will discuss about it, not everybody is happy. Do I have to do research, or what are the benefits for me? So you will see. I will show you how we are doing the internship with our students. You know that in Germany is a very famous country for combining learning and working in companies. This will be my first part of the presentation. Then we will discuss a little bit any questions that you might have. And in the second session, I will introduce you to international projects where we are at the moment carry on these two projects. And they are very interesting because one is DevOps in the field of smart cities, and the other one is in collaborative learning. And I would like to share with you what are we doing, because hopefully maybe for the next session, and this is my mind, we will discuss later, Nuha, that maybe in September, you will be able also to take all the results of our research. And the final one is what happened with multicultural teaching and learning. And when you see my presentation, you will understand why I put this last topic at the very end. So, our University of Applied Management Studies, it is a private university with about 500 students. We are located in Mannheim, very close to Frankfurt, for you to have a geographical location. And I put here the word apply in bold color, because this is what we are. We are very, very much apply orientated. What happened? The location where we are at the moment, which is the county of Baden-Württemberg, for all of you for information, is the area with the majority of the export German companies are located. So we are working very close with them, because obviously they need to say to us, what do we need for your students? Which skills, which competencies? And vice versa, we are also giving them some input how they need to lead their employees in terms of courses or competencies they need to do. So for us, the topic of research is a strategical issue in our university. And we have decided also in our presidential board that all this research that we are doing is very much for adding value to our teaching staff, as well as for our students. And you will understand a little bit more how do we bring this research to our students. So research activities is part of our teaching opportunities and teaching activities. All these activities, they take in one or another way very much the option of student-centered, because we are a small university, as I say, 500 students. We care very much for the students. We know the students personally, so we really try to develop there from a cognitive point of view but also from a personal point of view. So the idea, it is competencies gained for the teachers through the implementation or by participating in research topics. And these are the two projects I will present you later. So how all what we are generating for our research topics, our research projects, we build modules and we integrate these modules in our bachelor or in our master programs. This is one option. And another one are competencies gained for our students who can really also actively participate in these international research projects. And based on their learning from these research projects and for the research activities, we encourage the students to participate and present their research in international conferences. I will provide you a couple of examples to which conferences we are going with our students that you can, if you have interest, also to participate. Let's talk a little bit about us, who we are in terms of research. Our university has 43 employees, half of them belongs to the academic staff, but obviously not everybody is willing or very active in research. So we focus on our colleagues that they have fun, that they want to research, and we are a group of about 10 colleagues. We are researching, obviously our topics are mainly related to management, psychology, marketing, digitalization, or entrepreneurship. How are we doing this? How do we organize ourselves? We meet 4 times a year, and we are sharing the development of the projects we are involved in it, the research that we are doing, how our publications are going on. So we take the opportunity to take on stage to just share knowledge about our research. We also invite colleagues to read our papers, to give us some feedback. So it's a very interactive way that we have in this small group. Then what we also do, twice per year, we invite either some bachelor's or some master students who have been done a good job to present their research methods, so your dissertation, and they are presenting this in front of the students who are getting prepared for the next semester, writing either the bachelor or the master thesis. This is as well a very interactive way from a language, let's say, of the students, how they understand also research, to help the students who have to prepare their dissertations. Some of our colleagues are also very active in publishing. They are in editorial board. And we have an allowance, I know probably you will say it's not so much, but an official allowance or 2 hours per week to do research. Obviously 2 hours a week does not suffice, as you can imagine, but let's say officially, this is what we have. Then we have also what is called our research committee. Then we are 3 professors there, and we meet every 2 months. What is the task that we are doing there? We need to evaluate research calls. We receive very often opportunities either for call for papers, as is something else that we are going to distribute to our colleagues, and also when we have the opportunity to participate in any international call for projects. Then we have to evaluate, the resources we have. Is this really the competencies that we have at home? So it's a little bit, I would say, evaluating all the opportunities that we could do. And when we see, okay, let's go for it, then we circulate it with our colleagues. Also the opportunity to participate in international conferences. We are circulating the information with our colleagues. Okay, now let's start entering a little bit, how do we motivate the students for research? And I need to explain a little bit how is our system. I put here what you have. This is our bachelor program in international business. This is a program which is taught 100% in English, and the majority of the professors that we are teaching here are also international professors. It's part of our quality assurance at the university programs which are taught in English. We have either native speakers or we have international people to bring the real touch of international business. And you see, I'm not going to enter in all the subjects that we have, but you see that we have 6 semesters. And in the 4th semester, it is compulsory for all our students to do an internship of 18 weeks. This internship means the students should look for a company, either in Germany or abroad, and do 18 weeks of work over there. The other day, I think it was on Mondays, some colleagues asked us, how do you check these internships? And I asked my colleague, and I will show you in the next slide, which is here. How do we check the quality of our students that they have done the internship? This is a document. You don't need to read it now at the moment. If you wish, I can send you. So it's a 2 pages. How our colleagues in the master program, because the masters, they also have to do an internship. What do they have to do in this internship, and how do they have to report to us once they are back from the internship? This is something that we control very, very much, because obviously we trust on our students, but sometimes they go to a company and they are just there doing photocopies or preparing coffees, and this is not obviously what we want for our students. So we will normally have a paper where the name of the company, we have a local supervisor in the company, we have telephone numbers, and normally we have some chats with this, let's say, supervisor about our student, what is he or she going to do. So we really know that when they go, they will be doing a good job. Depends, for the bachelors are 18 weeks, for the master they are 8 weeks, and when they come, they have to prepare a report where they have to specify very much what have they learned, which, for example, which strategies, which goals, which mistakes they have identified in the company. Obviously, for the master students, we are demanding more because they have a higher level. They should be now able to know all the management tools that they have been learning before. So we ask them to concentrate in a part of the company that they were a little bit weak, or that there are some mistakes, or let's say some room for improvement, and develop during the internship also actions for this company to improve. And this obviously, it will be specified in a report of, as you say here, 5,000 words. In the case of the bachelors, I will show you the next slide. We ask very similar conditions, also somebody in the company there controlling them. And when the students are coming back, what they do, as you see here, they do a poster presentation. This poster presentation is done in front of all the students and also some of us, because we have to make the evaluation. And again, they explain to us the main subjects, the main work that they have done, and based on that, it is evaluated. All these posters are also hanging around at the university that people can see the work that the students are doing. I have to say, it makes a lot of impact, because when the students come back from the real world, you see that they have changed. They have matured. They also are more motivated for learning. Some of them, they say, I don't want to go back to industry. I would like to continue working. So it really does a lot of added value for the student getting to know the real world. So very much, if there is an opportunity to implement it in your studies, really go for it. We have here our master program, which is shorter, it's only in 3 semesters, and we have the same structure. They will have the first semester classes, and the second semester goes a little bit shorter. They will have only 3 classes and then an internship as well. And when they come back, they go, and you see here there are 3 different colors. They go in 3 different, what we call it, more in-depth courses. We have 3 options. They can go for more IT issues, they can go for international human resources, or they can go for more marketing and sales. Now, I need to explain something, because in our, I would say, master program, but also in the bachelor program, we are a university that we are only 10 years old, but we have a huge impact in terms of internationalization. And in these 10 years, we have about 52 nationalities studying with us. Therefore, we are very much aware the complexity of teaching multicultural students and the difficulty that they represent if they don't speak German to be in Germany. And this is how I would like to show you, because obviously when you say here the internship, 95% of the companies in Germany to make an internship regards from you as a student to speak German, okay? You might be surprised and you might say, you know, but Germany is a world export country. It is indeed, and this is something that is surprising all of us. When you are in Germany, even if they are international companies, the majority of them, they have German as the company language. Very often they say English is the company language, but I know from our students what they say, in the corridors and all the meetings, everything is in German, and from time to time there is a little bit English, which obviously this makes for our international students who don't speak German a huge barrier. So I wanted also to show you how we solve this barrier with our students. We said, okay, instead of doing an internship working in a company, you can do what we call a research internship. Reasons for that, as I mentioned before, they don't speak German, so they cannot go to a company. Then you have also to see that because we have so many students for so many different countries, their knowledge background is very different. You can study our master program if you are coming from different knowledge background. Let's say somebody has a bachelor in engineering, somebody can come to do our master program. So again, we need to find out this common understanding. We also have that because of the differences in knowledge background, they also have different understandings of the quality of academic work. This means when the students have to do a master dissertation or a bachelor dissertation, due to our apply focus, all dissertations, bachelor's and master, they must have empirical research. And many of these students, I can tell you, they have never conducted either questionnaire, either interviews. So we really need to put them at the same level that all the students. Then it is a quite intensive time, because especially for the master students, they only have 8 weeks for this internship, where they have to go through the whole period of research, meaning they will have to do their literature review, they will have to do their empirical part, their interviews or their quantitative analysis, and they have to present all the research, the whole process in 8 weeks. Obviously, this is a little bit a very, I would say, intensive time for the students, but also for the professors who are supervising all these quality controls in terms of quality of research. I would say it is, we have seen developments from 0 to 100, and students that they have been really, really keen of it, and they have done either this research internship so good, or they have done fantastic thesis at the end of the day. we have encouraged them to go together with us to international conferences. And I would like to introduce here some cases. You have here, for example, our student, Mayur. He has presented his master thesis entitled Survey and Model for Master Data Governance with respect to operational needs in different process domains. So this means Professor Dr. Kaufman is the one who is in charge of supervising this research internship and responsible for the master program. And together, he prepared the student to go to this circle conference. I will give you the link afterwards and explain a little bit. And you can imagine what a satisfaction represents this for the student. I will introduce you another two students we have here. Another couple of students. The first student, she has been looking at smart education, and he has done her master thesis in a comprehensive study on the elements of a smart education system and the role of IoT for smart education systems. And the second student has presented his master thesis in smart cities, engagement and participation. Again, you see very much trendy topics. They are coming from our research, international research project, which is the DevOps that I will present you in the second session. So you see how you can really win the student. And then I can tell you, because very often when we start these internships, everybody said to, no, I cannot do research. I have never done research. Oh, this is too complicated. So you have all the arguments for the students to say no. But again, with a very close supervision and the trust on the students that you will be able to do it. And they did it. And their feedbacks, it was an absolutely amazing experience from all of us, because they say, increased very much my self-confidence. I never thought in my life I will be presenting in an academic conference. It's very much their self-appreciation. Now they feel, you know, I came here, I didn't know so much about research, and look how much I grow during my studies. So again, the motivation for even go ahead and continue perhaps with a PhD is also the opportunity there. Or when they are presenting, they want to do even better work for further research in further publications, further thesis. They are proud of themselves. And something also very important for all of us is that they trust in our university, and is the trust they develop with the professors. Again, we must not forget, and we will discuss later on, with all these online teaching, all these gaming tools that we have been discussing, we all need them. This is also the trend. But what we must not forget is the social interaction and the care for the development of our students. This is fundamental for us, and we really need to combine it, but this is something that has to be present with all of us. And now I would like to give you this couple of conferences where all of you are more than welcome to participate. Either you with your research, either you with your master students. The Euromed conference, I tell you, this was organized, I think now I have to remember, about 17 years ago. I was very much involved in the creation of this Euromed, because I was living at that time in Cyprus. And if you see the name Euromed, the idea was all the European Mediterranean countries putting all our research and our interests together and organize conferences. This has been grown exponentially. You have here the link. We organize one conference every year, and then we are over 200 universities where you can create knowledge, you can exchange students, you can exchange teaching staff. So it's a great opportunity. It's a very familiar environment, very friendly environment. where many students who are in the PhD session, they give them the stage to present the research, academics are presenting the research. And therefore, I would say, go with your students because, as I said, it's a friendly, constructive academic environment. Because it's such a big network, we have many topics from management, from tourism, from gastronomy, from wine, you name it, probably you will find it in this meeting, in this research network. And then we have another one, which is Circle. It's another very friendly scientific academic conference, where it's mostly concentrated, I would say, marketing and management, but again, opportunities for our students to go and teach and present the thesis. Again, it's an unforgettable experience also when the students get the conference proceedings or they get the publication and they see their name in a scientific publication. Really, it's also something that when they talk with their other students, you have to see their passion for even convincing other students. You know, you have to do a good job. You have to go for research. It was such a great thing. I learned so much. So these are some. I wanted to share with you these options, how we are motivating our students. And also the topic I will like to discuss with you is the next one, which is obviously very much to say, how do we see failure? How do we see mistakes? This is also a very important part in learning. I put several quotes in the next slides, and they say the goal in a culture of failure is not success, but is growth. And this is something that when failing employees in our university or students, they have a very deep understanding. You know, again, if you take the time for reflection, time for giving constructive criticism, constructive feedback, then this very much is encouraging. And this encouraging doing, learning by doing, reflecting. And I put here this cartoon because what happened, we all see success as something very, very quick that everybody achieve, but it's not so simple as that. And you see the next picture, how complicated it is till you reach success. Nobody sees you how often you fail. At the end, what people see is that you have success. So it's the way how we reach success that we are very much encouraging the students to do. Try, go for it, don't worry if you fail. It's not easy because this is also a subject of mindset. And yesterday we have some discussion when Jürgen was talking about the VUCA with this volatile environment. And then they say, you know, it's very much the German mindset, this holistic thinking, this from the beginning till the very end, okay? But the idea of failing is something that you can see in Germany doesn't fit very well. And I face, and this is personal experience, students want to be perfect from the beginning. And perfection cannot be at the beginning when you're a learner. So again, this is for us to say, how can we unblock also the mindset of our students that from the beginning they want to have the best exam, the best prototype, the best outcome. You will have it, but then you need to try, maybe you need to fail, then you need to reflect, then you have to be open for criticism from other parts. And then at the end, you will reach this perception. But again, as I said, certain cultures are the more open for failing as succeeding. Other cultures, they want perfection from the beginning. And this sometimes, and I can confirm it, blockage also the mindset of the students. These are also some other thoughts about people need to have certain level, you know, of comfort and discomfort to taking risk. How is also, this is another cultural issue. you need also to walk before you can run to success, but it will be also fine if you stumbling, if you fell down sometimes. Again, you are in a learning process. So you might fail. The important thing is how often you get up and you continue. And therefore, this is also why we are there to support the students, that when they fail, we give them constructive feedback, constructive criticism, that they can next time do it much better. It's also the feeling of risk. And I was very curious before, when I think it was Rasem, when he was talking about design thinking. Design thinking also needs another mindset of very much being risk orientated, because you need a lot of creativity. You need to try and fail and try again. So again, this is something that not all the cultures are very much open for risk taking. And Germany is one of the cultures, due to their, I would say, engineering background, where risk is very much adverse. I'm very happy to listen all this design thinking that you are cooperating with a German university, because these are people that they are in the change, in the transition, that they are open for that. But if we look at the majority of German companies, risk is very, very much calculated. And before taking risk, everything has been analyzed before taking the risk. And if not, you will see also how very often Germany is looking how other countries are doing certain things, and then they will take it home, analyze it, put all the innovation, all the engineering, and they will perfection something and bring it to the market. So again, some issues like perfection and risk are topics influencing the way we are teaching and we are learning. And the final slides that very often I share also with my students for encouraging the issue of just try and do it. We have here, I have not failed when Edison invented electricity. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So again, we have a positive approach towards, okay, we tried, it didn't work, I will try again. Or failure is not failing down, but refusing to get up. What happened very often when our students fail? They are sad, they are desperate. Again, have a look. What have you done wrong? What could it be better? What can you improve? And try it again. Never give up in learning. And this is also the constant learning for all of us. We have another one. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. This is also now we have, again, a very, very quick changing environment. We have been all, or some of you, better prepared than others where Corona came. I told you our experience was we weren't prepared at all, because we never has been given online courses, for example. For what I listened for you, some of you that were already online teaching previous years, it was not the case. So for us, when Corona came in 3 weeks, we really need to change everything. We really needed to try. We did not have other option. We need to take the risk. We need to take the trying option. And here I would say Birgit, the one who did the presentation before, was the one who helped us in giving all our training that we needed, all her knowledge, all her patience, and we tried. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but again, we could fulfill our work, and slowly every semester we are all improving, and I hope that one day we will be perfect. But this is again. And the final one, which says by Einstein, anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried nothing new. Again, Our competitive environment requires for us to think out of the box, to be courageous, to think in new way of thinking, new ways of teaching, new ways of learning. And here is where I would say very much the opportunity for this reciprocal learning, what we are doing these days, these exchanges of our experiences, and also the project I will present afterwards, this cooperative learning, is fundamental for all of us to learn from each other and to, cope with these changing and very quick environments that we have at the moment. So I would say from here is the first part I wanted to share with all of you. How are we doing research and how we encourage our students and prepare our students for the future. So thank you, and I will be happy to share with you any comment or questions that you might have.